macg runs Podcast and Chill, easily one of the most successful podcasts in South Africa, with an impressive fan base of over 1 million YouTube subscribers. It's no secret that macg has a razor-sharp tongue that lands him in trouble more often than not. From being slammed after making transphobic jokes, mocking actor VW's sexual encounter with a transgendered woman, a joke that led to Amstel Lager dropping their sponsorship of Podcast and Chill. And before running the biggest podcast channel in Africa, he was also suspended from his former employment, YFM, after making a series of homophobic comments. He was then shortly fired after attempting to have sex at work.
Like, there was a girl I was with that I was really trying to smash. Like, beautiful, out of this world. So I'm like, let me kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, so we ended up going to the studio together. And yeah, let's just say one thing led to another. And there was dead air for like 30 minutes.
You forgot to link.
Yeah.
Because he was linking up.
Tom lined up the songs for like 30 minutes. And then I don't know, but
you went over 30 minutes.
Despite the controversy surrounding his name, macg has become very successful in the podcast community, and surely it wasn't easy. So today we take a look at the controversial rise of macg.
Fuck that, bro. Like, this thing was built on transparency, honesty, authenticity. We've always been honest to our chillers.
Always.
So why can't we this time?
macg arrived in this blue marble on the 6th of November 1988. He began his broadcasting career as a child star on the popular ETV show Crazy E.
Grab some money and have fun on Crazy World Live. Crazy World Live after to South Figure City, Papa. Oh yeah.
Watch it all the time, love it.
All this madness Mondays to Thursdays at 4 p.m. exclusive to Crazy.
A popular show enjoyed by kids all around South Africa. I also used to watch the show sometimes when I came back from school, but never had the chance to see macg, and that's probably due to the fact that he was on the show from the year 2000 to 2005, when he left the show to pursue his dream career, which was being a radio presenter. He moved to YFM, a Gauteng-based radio station, where he had the opportunity to host a great number of shows from the graveyard slots on the weekends. A graveyard slot simply means the hours from late night until early mornings, where the number of people listening on the radio are at its lowest. However, he became famous when he started airing the early morning shows on the weekends, and later the lunchtime shows. But he was fired from YFM for leaving the studio unattended for an hour while he was out trying to quote massage a girl who was playing hard to get.
So I lost track of time because she was playing hard to get. But
Oh yeah, so you couldn't just get this smash.
exactly. Within an hour, I got so many calls on my phone. We had been off air since my last link.
So when the song you played leaving the studio, when it ended,
That was
it was
it.
dead silent.
Yes, for an hour while I'm busy trying to.
However, this one hurts the most when you realize that at the end of the day, macg not only got fired, but he didn't even get to smash either.
Oh, you're
hard to get.
smashing.
I was trying. I didn't even smash, dog.
But macg had already proven himself as being one of the best radio presenters around, and he quickly got a gig at 947, a popular top 40 station in Johannesburg. But in true macg fashion, he quickly lost the job due to reasons unknown to the public. Although this was a hit to macg, it was a blessing in disguise, because this is the point where macg started to experiment with long-form content, specifically podcasts.
Okay, so welcome to our first podcast.
The podcast had a simple format, a relaxed chat that entertained, educated, and provided a form of escape for listeners. We wanted a platform to express our thoughts unfiltered, macg explained. The very first podcast episode was released in July 2018, hosted by macg, Ghost Lady, and Len Moleko, who left in 2020, whom was later replaced by presenter Sol Penduka. He also said that him and his partner Tabang worked for 2 years before getting their first 90,000 rands paycheck, and they had to work without any money during those 2 years. But when they thought that they finally hit the jackpot, problems arose among them. macg said that some team members felt it was unfair to split the money evenly when they contributed more than others, so he decided to never disclose anything money related. There were 4 of them, and everybody wanted to split it equally, but Len had different views. We all agreed, and Len out of nowhere is like, no, I've been here the longest. And Tabang, who was the last person to come in, was like, nah, these are my cameras. That's when I realized never to disclose. But what truly put Podcast and Chill on the map was its celebrity edition that premiered in early 2019. It had various South African celebrities and entertainers trending for all the spicy controversial truths they shared on the podcast. His ability to infiltrate his guests' protective armor and extract some gems has helped him garner a legion of diehard fans he now calls the Chillers. He's also swiftly garnering a reputation as a crude interviewer with a particular disregard for women. Guests have included Dr. Malinga, Black Coffee, DJ Cleo, Zola 7, and Juke Jupe, the most controversial podcast guest he's had on the show. macg and Jupe Jupe enjoyed a laugh at Amanda DuPont expands with Jupe Jupe's claim of having smashed DuPont.
You smashing there? Was it Amanda DuPont?
She was one of them.
Nah.
Ooh, you were smashing that.
Yeah, before you went to jail.
I had a stupid. I saw Amanda DuPont.
Prompting a teary Instagram video in which she alleged that she was repeatedly raped over the course of their long-term relationship instead.
Three things that I mainly want to address. The first was saying that he smashed me. First of all, Malemo, you raped me.
In the midst of the public fallout after DuPont's post and subsequent avalanche of sexual assault allegations laid against his body, Juke Jupe, macg went on to open the very next episode with a stout show of defiance.
So on today's episode, I'm just literally addressing the Chillers. Fuck everybody else. I don't care what everybody else thinks. I don't care what they have to say.
This controversial take saw macg losing one of 3 sponsorship deals in just the year 2021, with more controversy surrounding the podcast, such as the time Saul made transphobic comments. In an episode of the popular podcast, macg and Saul were discussing an alleged cheating scandal involving a popular soapy actor. Pandora used the transphobic slur to describe a group of transgender people. As the outcry grew over the controversial podcast, many wanted to see macg getting cancelled, but that didn't happen. Instead, his numbers kept getting higher and higher. But he still found himself in more controversy as he was accused by the YouTuber Penwell the Black Pen, claiming that macg is gatekeeping and only wants his podcast channel to succeed.
Notes has got an amazing heart. Says a lot of destructive things, but he's got a good heart and he's trying to do good things. And he's trying to put kids on in other podcasts. Something that people like, MacGyver are not doing. MacGyver's not going around trying to ignite other kids' podcasts, unfortunately. He doesn't necessarily give them shoutouts.
And all the controversy seemed to add fuel in macg's pursuit for success as he kept getting bigger and bigger with each headline.
Maybe 100.
Yeah.
The same audience in 6 months is going to be 1,000.
Yeah.
The same audience in another year is going to be 10,000.
And there's no funding.
In another year is 100,000. The same audience on YouTube by 2022 is 1 million. You've got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, with no
now,
funding.
Now brands are coming to you. But look, you don't have any funding. Look at you. You're starting with microphones that you bought from. This is the little you've got. That's exactly.
On July 11, 2023, macg's Podcast and Chill reached the 1 million subscriber milestone.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them.
Yes, Nani.
It is official. Podcast and Chill has reached 1 million subscribers.
Making one of the most subscribed podcast channels in Africa. And it took him exactly 5 years to reach this milestone. macg went from humble beginnings in a small apartment armed with a phone and mics to being one of the biggest podcasting channels in Africa. You may call it luck, you may call it fate, you may call it hard work, or everything in between, but the fact still stands. macg broke every rule and still became a success story. He didn't let anything or anyone hold him back. He never changed, and maybe that's why he became a success.
Industry, because I hear all of you all are trying to only box them into that podcast space. No. You make history in your industry and you become great. Over. You become great.
It was never hard work. He was just being himself, but most importantly, he was doing what he loved.